For 600 years, 10 vegetables fed Europe. They survived plagues, wars, famines. Then, in less than a century, they vanished. Not because they failed, because they couldn't be controlled. They weren't forgotten. They were erased. 3 of them are in your backyard right now. You've been calling them weeds. The others, still available, still waiting, and every single one of them, you plant once, just once. The archive opens. The archive opens in the garden of a Benedictine monastery. The year is 1347. The Black Death has not yet arrived. And in this garden, 10 vegetables grow. 10 vegetables that will soon disappear from human memory. For 600 years. Not because they failed to thrive, but because they thrived too well. Let me show you what they knew and what we forgot. From the fall of Rome to the rise of industry, these vegetables were not exotic. They were ordinary. Every monastery grew them. Every cottage garden. Every kitchen that wanted food through winter. They required no annual replanting, no trips to the seed merchant, no dependency on anyone. They multiplied. They returned. They provided. Generation after generation after generation. And then, in the span of 2 generations, they were gone. Not dead, just invisible. Dropped from seed catalogs, reclassified, sprayed, until almost no one could name them. Let's start with what they buried underground. The first 3 vegetables share something in common. Roots, buried twice, once in soil, once in history. Emperor Tiberius demanded this at his banquets. Medieval monks grew it for sweetness, before sugar even existed. Skirret, it multiplies underground. Plant it once, harvest it forever, year after year, without replanting, without purchasing. But there was a problem. Its roots are tangled, irregular, beautiful, but inconvenient. When mechanical harvesters arrived, Skirret jammed the machines. The solution? Replace it with straight-rooted parsnips. Efficiency 1, flavor lost. Zones 5 through 9. Perennial. Propagate by division. Harvest from year 2 onward. They called it the oyster plant, a root that tastes like the sea, but grows in dirt. Medieval Europe ate it through every winter, high in inulin, prebiotic fiber before we had the word for it. Your grandmother might have called it oyster plant. The name survives. The vegetable, barely. Zones 4 through 8. Biennial, but it self-seeds. Plant it once. Let it naturalize. Let it return. They called it viper's grass because they believed it cured snake bites. It didn't. But it did cure something else. Dependency. Scorzonera has the highest inulin content of any vegetable we know. Perennial. Comes back every year. Medieval monks didn't know the word prebiotic. They just knew it kept them healthy through winter. Modern gut science confirms what they knew by instinct. Zones 4 through 9. Perennial. Seed or division. Ask someone over 70 about these plants. Watch their face change. Your great-grandmother probably knew these plants, not by their Latin names, not from a YouTube video. She knew them because her mother showed her, and her mother before that. Somewhere in the last 60 years, that chain broke. But chains can be repaired. Now, let's talk about weeds. The next 3 vegetables didn't disappear. They were reclassified from superfood to weed, 7 times the vitamin C of spinach, 4 times the calcium of kale, complete protein, all essential amino acids. And it's growing in your yard right now. Fat hen. Seeds have been found in Bronze Age settlements, 3,000 years old. It was a staple across all of medieval Europe. Every class, every country, every season it would grow. Then herbicides arrived, 1945, and fat hen became lamb's quarters. A weed to be sprayed. Walk outside, look for the leaves with a dusty, silvery coating. That's 3,000 years of human food. That's breakfast. All zones. Annual but aggressive self-seeder. Cost free. It's already in your yard. It grows in sidewalk cracks, garden edges, anywhere you don't spray. Medieval salad green. Medicinal for skin conditions. Mentioned in nearly every medieval herbal ever written. Walk outside. Look in the shady corners of your garden. Small plant. White star-shaped flowers. That's chickweed. That's lunch. All zones. Shade tolerant. Year-round harvest in mild climates. Cost free. Poor man's asparagus. Shoots in spring that taste like asparagus. Leaves all summer that taste like spinach. Every English cottage garden had it. Named after a king. Fed the poor. Once. Everywhere. Now, almost no one can name it. Same plant. Different century. Zones 3 through 9. Perennial. Partial shade is fine. Spread slowly, not invasive, just patient. How did superfoods become weeds? That question has an answer, and it has villains. These vegetables didn't fail. They were failed by 3 forces in sequence. When tractors arrived, they demanded uniformity, rows, spacing, predictability. Medieval vegetables didn't comply. Skirret's roots jammed machinery. Fat hen grew wherever it wanted, so they were labeled inefficient. And efficiency became the only religion. You can't patent a plant that seeds itself forever. You can't sell annual seeds for a perennial that multiplies underground. The economics were wrong, so they simply stopped selling them, dropped from catalogs, erased from memory. In 1944, scientists developed 2,4-D to destroy enemy crops. In 1945, they brought it home. The first casualties? The weeds that had fed humanity for millennia. Fat hen, chickweed, good King Henry, sprayed into near extinction. But nature doesn't forget. In 2019, researchers at the University of Copenhagen analyzed fat hen seeds from a Bronze Age settlement, 3,000 years old. The nutritional profile? Identical to modern samples. Nature doesn't forget. We do. And now, universities across Europe are racing to rediscover what medieval monks never lost. The science isn't new. The forgetting was. 4 more vegetables survived. They're still waiting. These 4 never fully disappeared. They're still here, still available. The question is whether you'll recognize them. British sailors ate it to prevent scurvy. Victorian aristocrats served it at dinner parties. Then everyone forgot it existed. Sea kale, blanched shoots, sweet, nutty, delicate. It still grows wild on British beaches. Protected now. Because so few people remember its food. Zones 4 through 8. Perennial. Propagate by root cuttings. Celery that comes back every year. Grows 6 feet tall. One plant. Seasons of families cooking for life. If you've ever wondered why you buy celery every week, when a perennial version exists, this is the answer. Lovage. Zones 3 through 9. Perennial. Seed or division. Warning, it gets big. Plan accordingly. You buy green onions every week. Your medieval ancestor planted them once and never bought them again. In Asia, still grown everywhere. In the West, replaced by annuals you have to replant. Same nutrition, different business model. Zones 3 through 9. Perennial. Divide and multiply. Harvest year-round. You throw away the most nutritious part of the turnip. Medieval farmers knew better. The greens have more calcium than milk, more nutrition than the root you keep, and you've been composting them. Zones 2 through 9. Fast. Self-seeds. Any seed company sells turnips. You just need to eat the right part. So how do you actually grow them? If you want to start today, fat hen. Walk outside. It's probably already there. Chickweed. Check the shady spots. Turnip greens. Any seed company. 30 days from seed to harvest. If you want to plant once and never again. Skirret. Sweet roots from year 2. Welsh onions. Green onions forever. Lovage. Celery that returns. Cold climates. Zones 3 through 7. Sea kale. Scorzonera. Salsify. Warm climates. Zones 7 through 10. Good King Henry. Fat hen. All zones, anywhere. Fat hen. Chickweed. Turnip greens. Seed Savers Exchange. Adaptive seeds. Horizon herbs. Or your own backyard. Fat hen and chickweed are likely already there, waiting to be recognized. The archive opened in a monastery garden. 600 years ago, before tractors, before herbicides, before corporations decided what you should eat. 10 vegetables, 10 acts of remembering. You don't need permission to grow them. You don't need to buy them every year. You just need to plant one and let it multiply. The archive does not close. It continues through you. If knowledge like this should not be lost again, you know what to do. The Green Archive.